Well, folks, hope everybody's doing okay. I'm up here to say goodbye. Yes, I said it. I'm up here to say goodbye. Saying goodbye to the end of an era in my life. A lot of you probably wondered, maybe not, where I've been shooting from. Where I've been shooting these videos from. Some of these videos, not all of them. As you probably guessed or not guessed, I am in New York City. You can see the Empire State Building. You can see the New World Trade Center. Now, the reason I'm showing you this and finally revealing my location is because I will never be up here again. I will literally never be up here again. Today was the final move. I was just here for the last month and a half helping my parents. Well, not even month and a half. I've been doing some traveling in between then. I was here, and then I left for some traveling, and then I came back. But I was here I was here on and off for the last month and a half, if you will, to kind of just be here, kind of taking a break from rent and all that, and knowing that my parents were doing this big move, considering that my dad is returning to his home state and my mom's returning to her home state, and they're going separate directions. Not getting a divorce, but they're going separate directions. But up until now, they lived right here in Jersey City, New Jersey, in New York City, pretty much right here outside of New York City, literally right outside of New York City. You can see the New World Trade Center. And one thing I just want to think about is just like, again, it goes back to the whole thing about, how fast life moves, how fast life just moves in general. 6 years ago, they moved here, back in 2019, they moved here from Virginia, which is where we moved from Arizona, by the way. 6 years ago, they moved here from Virginia, because my dad ended up working a job at Rutgers University as a dean. And then he went through a lot of trauma in his life when my grandfather passed away and then my grandmother passed away 1 year apart. We've been here, but then he ended up becoming a professor. He ended up stepping down from dean and becoming a professor at Rutgers University. He was initially had a much higher position than that back in the Obama administration, but I don't want to kind of get into those details. Those are very personal details. Very proud of him, very proud of the work he's done. But for the last 6 years, they have lived right here, pretty much in New York City, with this beautiful rooftop, and we had a beautiful apartment up till today. And literally, it's just breathtaking. This is just a great place. This was a great place to just kind of go up and contemplate, and just to, obviously whenever I visited, because I haven't actually lived here. I lived in Florida, I lived in Utah, I lived in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I've had my own life for the last several years. I've had my own life. I've also lived in Boston, So I've lived in Massachusetts, Florida, Puerto Rico, Utah, all the above. I've had my own life. Meanwhile, they've been after they left Virginia, they've been over here. But I just kind of I'm starting to just kind of reflect, not just starting, but I've been kind of reflecting for the last month. I feel like I've kind of taken this place for granted, knowing that I will not have this view again, probably ever again in my life. This view of the Empire State Building, this view of, the Empire State Building, New York City, the Chrysler Building way over there, the New World Trade Center, only a walk away from the PATH station to take me to New York City whenever I want, any time of the day. I have not lived here. Since I've been kind of on my own, obviously visiting my parents occasionally, flying up here to visit them occasionally, because I've been on my own, obviously. I feel like I've kind of taken this place, and I've been reflecting on this, like I already said, I feel like I've kind of taken this place for granted, honestly. But nevertheless, the last month and a half here was a beautiful stay, And I did travel in between then. I went to a couple places, including Michigan, back to Utah, Arizona, a couple places. But besides that, I feel like I've just, it was a very beautiful stay here, just to enjoy time with them, enjoy time in the New York City restaurants, see new things in New York City, see new things in Jersey City, New Jersey, and all that stuff, and just this the New York City area. Times just there, I found a lot of places that I really liked. I'm gonna miss Galaxy Diner. I'm gonna miss the American Dream Mall, the amusement park in there, the Peruvian restaurant in there with the great desserts, and the I Am donut shops that actually makes amazing vegan donuts. Not even kidding. I'm gonna miss the Japanese place that's around here. I'm gonna miss a lot of things that I only recently discovered. And this is an emotional experience for me. It's an emotional thing leaving this apartment. Obviously, it's already been packed up and everything. The whole morning was dedicated to packing it up. It was emotional seeing, the movers pack up the whole house and everything, and the beds and the couches and the sofas and all the furnishing and all the furniture and everything. So, I know we've all gone through moves before. We've all gone through them. I don't know how often, but maybe not all of us. Maybe some people have lived in their whole place their whole life. But my family's moved around quite a bit, and I've moved around even more than that, personally. So, but there's a lot I'm going to miss out here. I'm going to miss the apartment. I'm going to miss the view of New York City. I'm going to miss the rooftop. And I know my brother was very emotional when he was leaving too. So this is all very emotional. So once again, this is the end of an era in my life. I'm just enjoying the last view of the rooftop, the last view of New York City, and just kind of the last view. This is the little table that I was filming some other videos on. And my dad and mom are staying married, but are going separate directions. She's going to return to her home state, and my dad's returning to his home state, and I'm going to be going my own direction as well. So that's just kind of what it is. That's just kind of what it is. I've kind of taken it. I've appreciated the last month here. I've appreciated getting to know New York City more than I ever have in the last month and a half. And I've just appreciated being able to stay in this apartment. And I'm just kind of grateful for the small stuff. Very grateful for the small stuff. Having people that love me and care about me ultimately. And that's just a gift that we all should have, and we should never ever take it for granted. Anyways, that's pretty much all for now. I'm gonna miss it here, really am. Even though I've only really been here a month and a half, and I've been here obviously on and off visits in the last couple of years, but I just it's been interesting. Anyway. Any more thoughts? My brothers were emotional about this. My youngest brother, when he was going back to Phoenix for his school and stuff, he was pretty much in tears. He didn't even want to get on the plane. He tried to miss the plane. True story. He tried to miss the plane. When me and my mom took him to Newark Airport, Newark Liberty International Airport for his flight, United Airlines, he actually tried to miss the plane. He tried to pretend like the gate closed and all that, but we actually kind of busted him in his lie, because I looked at the research and I'm like, wait a minute, United doesn't close 20 minutes early. Frontier does, United does not. United closes 15 minutes early. And then he was like, oh shoot, and then he ended up being the last person on the plane because he didn't want to go. And then my dad actually had to change his flight a day later because he didn't want to go. Like, he initially was supposed to leave, He was initially supposed to leave, a day before, and then my dad moved his United flight to the next day because he was really emotional about leaving. So, that being said, this is kind of the end of an era. So, yeah, a little of an era for me that I never really appreciated, to be honest with you. But I got to make up for that a little bit and appreciate it in the last month and a half. So that's it, and this is the rooftop here in New Jersey, right across the river from New York, and It's been a nice little time here, a nice little apartment. Gonna miss it. We've all been through moves. But anyway, folks, take care. This is Javier Blog to it. This is Javier Lopez here. Tuning out. I love all of you. I love every one of you. Take care. I truly do. I love you guys. Bye.